Good morning, Atlanta. Today on Play to Win, will Georgia face its toughest test on defense today? Do the Falcons have a running back? And is the SEC down? We'll talk about all this and more coming up next on the fastest 30 minutes in television, football's Play to Win.
Today's show is being brought to you by your Georgia Drive Chevy dealers, Chevrolet, Find New Roads, Bojangles, and Reliable Heating and Air. Welcome to football's Play to Win with Falcons All-Pro defensive end Chuck Smith, Falcons All-Pro offensive tackle Bob Whitfield, Play to Win expert Jeffrey the Edge Schechter, college and SEC football expert Chris Marler, Falcons All-Pro wide receiver Terrence Mathis, and your host, Nikki Williams. Today's hometown team report is being brought to you by Montlick Injury Attorneys. Our attorneys know what it takes to win.
Good morning, team. Welcome back. It's an awesome game day. Today's hometown team report is brought to you by Montlick and Associates. Bob, Chuck, Terrence, I got a question. And Bob, I'm going to start with you first here. When do you actually start paying attention to those college rankings? At what point in the season do they start to matter?
Yeah, when the teams show up to play the game, that's when it matters, because this reminds me of the old system when they were just doing it in the newspapers and saying this is the best team, this is the second best team. I think leading up to it, it's all about the hype, the attention, who's going to get in, who's not going to be in. But I know that you want some of those Power Five. You definitely want a Pac-12 team in there, and you want to see if one of those Big Ten teams can survive it. It's one of those things that's leading up. It's like a great Agatha Christie movie that just doesn't need to happen. Expand the playoffs, get more teams to play in it.
Well, I started really paying attention to when the committee first came out with the first set of rankings in 2021. Look, they placed an undefeated Oklahoma and Cincinnati at number 8 and number 6. Then you had Alabama, who got in. Of course, Georgia fit in. But think about last week. Michigan State lost big to Purdue. Number 4, Oregon had a rough start, and they did beat Washington. Ohio State, who was number 5, didn't play well versus Nebraska. And Cincinnati, listen, they didn't help their cause, barely beating Tulsa. Wake Forest got knocked off by North Carolina, and Oklahoma was idle. So what it tells me, outside of Georgia, it's going to be the eye test, and it's going to be really who beats who the worst, and all these teams that are mixed up in this cluster outside of Georgia. So from day one, Nikki, I was watching to see, is the committee going to go by scores? Are they going to go by conference? But it looks like it's the eye test, and who beats who the worst are probably going to be the ones that get in the Final Four.
The eye in the sky does not lie. So you've been watching since the start. I can get with that. Terrence, I got a question for you, though. When it comes to Matt Ryan, the Falcons are headed to Big Dally. Do we think that our opinion has maybe changed on Matt Ryan after that awesome win last week?
I don't know who opinions you taking, but I never was down on Matt Ryan, because Matt Ryan is the glue of this team. If Matt Ryan's sitting on the sideline is not performing well, they bomb. They don't play well, they lose. Matt Ryan plays well, the team plays well. So I have never had a bad opinion of Matt Ryan. I thought he was the key to this team being successful.
What about you, Bob?
I
know you.
I just questioned. I didn't really think he was going to do awful. I just questioned about him, but what we found out was that Matt Ryan found that replacement in Julio Jones. Matt Ryan found his Roddy White in Patterson, so that he has a go-to guy that you can see that confidence has built to say, on a game-winning drive, I know where I want to place this ball and whose hands I want to place it with. And now you see some vintage success from Matt Ryan.
Ooh, well, I just thought it was funny because, Chuck put you under a deposition last week, and I thought it was great. And Chuck, I can only ask you this question. You think Georgia's walking into a trap game with Tennessee?
You know what, Nikki? I don't really think it's a trap game. I think Georgia's solid. I've watched Tennessee, obviously, that's my alma mater all year long. They struggle when it comes to protection from an offensive line. Their defensive line, they get ran on. The secondary gets thrown on. This Tennessee team, the catalyst for Tennessee is they throw the ball and make big plays, and they got an up-tempo offense. This is not a trap game. I read some quotes. Kirby been working on the up-tempo offense for weeks. It's not a trap game. So Georgia knows what they're getting into. The crowd's going to be crazy, but I don't see it as a trap game, Nikki. I think Georgia will be prepared, but I think Tennessee will be prepared. And, I think it'll be a good battle, but I think Georgia's well equipped.
Maybe bobbing and weaving around mustard bottles. Guys, stick with us. Is the SEC up or down in 2021? Our experts will weigh in next on Football's Play to Win.
It was raining. My wife and I, we were on the way home, and we was at a complete stop. And this guy runs into another car that runs into us and completely smashed my back trunk all the way into the back seat. That was a tough moment. If we hadn't hired Montlick & Associates, I don't think we would have had the best representation. My wife and I were very happy with our results and our cases and our outcomes. We were happy, definitely.
Here we go. And we go up.
You're the proud owner of the fastest growing gym in town. And your online classes are a big reason why. But if slow upload speeds end up straining your growth,
we're holding.
just remember,
If you hear me, put your kettlebells down.
you're not a bad gym owner. You just need better internet.
AT&T Business Fiber delivers faster upload speeds for more reliable video calls. Limited availability in select areas. Call 1-844-641-FAST.
Every day, we roll out before sunrise. Our dedication is what makes us reliable. Heating, cooling, hot water, plumbing, and electrical. Our results make us always reliable.
Get any size furnace for just $49.99 a month.
It's time to find your next Chevy truck and forge ahead. Take on new challenges and take it to the next level. It's the perfect time to do more in your next Chevy. Find new possibilities, find new roads. Very well qualified buyers can get 2.49% financing and $1,000 cash allowance on this Silverado. Plus, unlock your code to claim $500 Chevy Cyber Cash on most Silverado 1500 Crew Cab pickups.
Today's SEC and ACC report is being brought to you by your Southeastern Nissan dealer.
And we're back. Our SEC-ACC report is brought to you by Greater Atlanta Nissan. Hello, Chris Marler. Happy Saturday. I love talking about the SEC with you. We all do. What would you say, is the SEC up or down right now?
I mean, it's just kind of status quo, right? I mean, like, it's not really a down year. I was kind of shocked when I even saw the question. I mean, you got 7 bowl-eligible teams right now. You got 6 teams that are ranked in the college football playoff ranking. You have the top 2 teams overall. So, and also the number 1 team in the country that is just on an absolute, I guess, collision course with destiny, because there's no one else that's going to be able to stop them. So, I mean, you're going to win another natty. You're going to have the most players drafted. You're going to have the most bowl-eligible teams. I wouldn't say down year at all.
You think it's just weird panic, Chuck?
No, I don't think. I think one of the bigger stories is the SEC East. Yeah, the SEC East, Nikki's been down for years. Let's look. Kentucky's showing life. Tennessee is trending up. South Carolina even has a winning record of 5-4. But when you look at the West, I mean, Texas A&M, Auburn, Ole Miss, and Mississippi State have winning records. What is it? 10 of 14 SEC teams have winning records. I think it's up because something now, LSU being down, Florida being down. But I think teams that have been down traditionally have kind of come up. So I think, it's a little more parity in the league. So I just think, like Chris said, it's status quo. But I think the league is a little better right now. I really do.
Well, speaking of Texas A&M and Ole Miss, who do you think wins that game? Got some clashing styles there, Chris.
That's tough, man. It's going to be a really, really good game. But it just seems like Ole Miss is just like struggling to get to the finish line. I feel like maybe Matt Corral is still dinged up. He might have been overused. I'm not really sure. But that team does look different. That offense looks different. Going into the last 3 games, they had put up over 500 yards of offense in 9 of their last 11 games. And the only 2 they hadn't was, I believe, in the bowl game and then against Alabama. The last 3 games, they have seen a decline in their total yards, production, and total plays in each outing. So probably cause for concern. They are at home, but A&M's defense is legit.
Well, I definitely think that legit Texas A&M defense. Now, I rewatched that Alabama game, and what they did was just play an aggressive style where they just didn't respect anything that Alabama had to offer. And I think if they take that level of swag into this game, they will just shut down all of that Ole Miss team has to bring to the table. So I like that Texas A&M defense to really make that team struggle.
All right. Well, now let's take a look at our college football showdown.
Today's Showdown of the Week is being brought to you by AT&T. More for your thing, that's our thing.
Number 8, Oklahoma at number 12, Baylor. Do we think the Sooners stay undefeated and gain a little bit of respect, Chris?
What are these 2 teams' records? Anybody know? Does anybody know off the top of their head?
9-0 and 7-2.
Oklahoma's 9-0 and Baylor 7. They've played 9 games apiece. Do you know how many games they've played against winning teams? Teams that have an average, like a above 500 record? 2 apiece. So I don't care. You know what? I'm not even going to weigh in here. I cannot believe this is the game of the week. How do you go through an entire? We're in November. How have you only played 2 good teams?
All right. Well, guys, stick with us because we're going to talk about Tennessee, and nobody loves to talk about Tennessee more than our very own Chuck Smith. You don't want to miss it. We'll be right back on Play to Win.
We break a sweat to get you feeling comfortable. Our commitment is what makes us reliable. Heating, cooling, hot water, plumbing, and electrical. Our results make us always reliable.
Get any size furnace for just $49.99 a month.
If you have psoriasis, it's time to see the possibilities with Taltz. Up to 90% of those with moderate to severe psoriasis saw a significant improvement. Some even saw 100% clear skin. Don't use if you're allergic to Taltz. Before starting, get checked for tuberculosis. Increased risk of infections and lower ability to fight them may occur. Tell your doctor about infections, symptoms, or if inflammatory bowel disease symptoms develop, worsen, or if you had a vaccine or plan to. Serious allergic reactions can occur. Ask your doctor about Taltz.
This is it. Our grandmother Leah had a special gift when it came to tasting food.
She could identify every single ingredient.
Honey, our vegetables are made with real ingredients. The perfect blend of seasoning. You know your grandmother taught me how to bake her sweet potato pie with one ingredient that sets us apart.
What's the ingredient? Get your This Is It now. Order online for pickup or get it delivered through Uber Eats, DoorDash, Grubhub, or Easy Cater. If I guess, will you give it to me?
You just bought a new house. Now you've got to move. Nobody likes to move. That's why you call Atlanta Peach Movers. Your choice for the best move. No job is too big or too small, and you can be assured your belongings will get where they need to be on time and in one piece. Our in-house training facility ensures our team is ready to offer you unmatched service and a no-hassle moving experience. For the best value in the business, call Atlanta Peach Movers for a free quote today.
Today's University of Georgia Report is being brought to you by Beaver Toyota. We're here to wow you.
Welcome back. Our dog report is brought to you by Beaver Toyota, Georgia, Tennessee. Now, as a former Bulldog, I know this is a very fun game, but when we break down the mechanics of football here, Chuck, can the Vols passing attack challenge the UGA secondary? Before you correct me on me not saying balls, I'm Southern, okay? So I fluctuate on that.
Right.
I do it just to tick you off.
Yeah, you ain't saying nothing. But look, I'll just say this, Nikki. Initially, I think Tennessee's offense will give anybody problems when it comes to how they alignment. They put their receivers wide all the way towards the sidelines. But I think ultimately this game is going to be decided by the offensive and defensive line. Tennessee right now, I just don't believe in my heart when me watching the Vols that they're going to be able to protect Hendon Hooker, because that's where it all starts at. It starts at the quarterback. But when you look at Tennessee's offensive line, I've watched them. They've gotten pushed around. They got roughed up by Kentucky at times, obviously, versus Florida. I just think in the interior, I just don't think Tennessee's receivers are going to be able to get in the game, because I just think Georgia's pressure, the way they rush the passer, and just their physical nature, it's not a good matchup, in my opinion, for Tennessee. So I don't see Tennessee's passing game really going crazy on them, but I do see them making some plays here and there.
Chris, does Tennessee have a prayer?
I mean, I don't think anybody has a prayer against this defense. I mean, just being honest, I think they keep it closer than the number. I think it's a 3-touchdown spread. Georgia hasn't played away from home that much. I mean, and they've only played at Vandy. They played that early game against Clemson, and then I think at Auburn as well. So maybe that crowd can get behind Tennessee. They can make a few plays early, maybe like similar to like they did in the Alabama game, and try to hang late. But I just don't see anybody being able to compete with that Georgia defense.
Bob, are you shocked at Tennessee's new head coach's performance thus far?
Well, you know, the games they won, they did some good things, but I think when you have a growing process with a team and you're trying to find yourself, these are the games that really show and they matter, because now you're going against a behemoth, and it's how you play in these games. Are you going to show up scared? Is the coach going to motivate those guys to have a spectacular performance? And can some of the intangible parts of the football game, like in special teams, make a difference so that you can keep your game close and maybe try to eke out something that resembles some respectable, I don't say you're going to win it, but make it respectable, that will give you some confidence going forward?
Chuck, meeting your expectations?
Yeah. Nikki, I'm absolutely stunned. I'm shocked. I couldn't have dreamed of what I've seen Josh Heupel do for Tennessee this year compared to what all the negative attrition we've had in the past. Because I'm just talking about the way he's handled himself in front of the press, not embarrassing the university, the way the guys play hard. Now, remember, Tennessee lost a record amount of guys in the transfer portal. And this team
34.
shouldn't be winning any games, right? I mean, they shouldn't be winning any games. I mean, it's as a former player and a guy who went to Tennessee, I am stunned. Josh Heupel has exceeded my expectations that I couldn't have been in a dream and thought he was going to do this good. Remember, it ain't like we winning, like we're going to the college football playoffs. That shows where we are. This guy has really exceeded expectations. Pretty phenomenal what he's done.
All right. Well, when we come back, we're moving on to the Atlanta Falcons. Speaking of exceeding expectations, stay with us. We'll be right back on Football's Play to Win.
Today's show is being brought to you by Montlick Injury Attorneys. Our attorneys know what it takes to win. AT&T and Beaver Toyota.
Wouldn't it be awesome if you could buy your next vehicle without going to the dealership? Now you can with Beaver Direct. It's fast and really simple. Log into BeaverToyotaComing.com, click on Beaver Direct, quietly shop from hundreds of vehicles, obtain a credit approval and trade appraisal in minutes. We'll gently deliver your vehicle to your location for your private test drive. Beaver Direct is the fastest and easiest way to get a great deal on your next vehicle. Log on to BeaverToyotaComing.com and see for yourself why Atlanta buys cars from Beaver Direct.
At Reliable Heating and Air, every day we roll out before the sun rises. We carry a lot in our trucks and use cutting-edge technology and work late so you can sleep easier. We get uncomfortable to restore your comfort and keep you warm all winter long. Heating, cooling, hot water, plumbing, and electrical. Our results make us always reliable.
Get any size furnace for just $49.99 a month.
Goodbye. Random calls and offers. Hello, built-in spam blocker. Now I can soak up the sun in peace. Hello, Google Fi. A phone plan that can.
A big bow box says a lot about a person. Like they have a mighty hunger, a powerful thirst, and great taste when it comes to college teams. Game day and beyond, rep your Georgia Bulldogs with an official Team Big Bow Box.
Today's Atlanta Falcons report is being brought to you by your Georgia Drive Chevy dealers. Chevrolet, find new roads.
Welcome back. Our Falcons report is brought to you by Georgia Drive Chevy. Terrence Mathis in here to give us some thoughts about our very own Atlanta Falcons. What a strong performance last week. That was electrifying. I was really excited. Do we think A.J. Terrell is breaking out as a star?
Well, you know, when he's on the field, he is very productive, but you got to understand the reason why he's being a star right now is because the guy on the other side is not a star. They're gonna attack him, and he's not getting a lot of looks. Terrell is not right now, and you got to look at it before we put him in a star category. He needs to play against some quality wide receivers. This team hasn't played against any big time wide receivers yet. Besides Tampa Bay early in the year, and we know what happened there. But you know, right now, I wouldn't give him an island right now. He's on that rowboat to the island, but he's not on the island.
Not on the island.
That was a really, I liked that. When we move over to offense, Cordarrelle Patterson, do you think he's better suited as a full-time wide receiver? Can the Falcons afford to not play him at running back? Chuck, I know you've got some deep roots with him.
Yeah, VFL, he's evolved. But look, no, I mean, listen, I like the way they play him now, Nikki. He can run the ball. He can line up at wide receiver and run deep routes, run across the middle. He kick returns. He does everything. So he's a guy that you can find a lot of different ways to get him the ball. So what Patterson brings is value because he can do a lot of different things. Now, I love the way the Falcons are playing him. Play him here, play him there. Just let him make plays.
Just let him in the game. Bob, what do you think?
Yeah, because he is our version of Christian McCaffrey, our version of Alvin Kamara. It's that type of back. He's just a bigger version. And what you get when you get matchup problems, you get great plays out of him because he's hard to cover as a big body wide receiver, but then he can line up in the backfield and hit it downhill between the tackles. He has so much great versatility. And I think that the Falcons did a good job with getting him on the team, and other guys, even in that last game, Valters, who came from Chicago prior, came in and made a great sack. So it was like getting extended plays from those guys helped this team. When you say these are not drafted players originally drafted by the Falcons, but they came in on these single opportunities to make great plays and be great for the team.
Whew. All right, guys, stay with us. We are just getting started. We're going to move it over to some NFC talk. You don't want to miss it. We'll be right back on Football's Play to Win.
It's time to find your next Chevy truck and forge ahead. Take on new challenges and take it to the next level. It's the perfect time to do more in your next Chevy. Find new possibilities, find new roads. Very well qualified buyers can get 2.49% financing and $1,000 cash allowance on this Silverado. Plus, unlock your code to claim $500 Chevy Cyber Cash on most Silverado 1500 Crew Cab pickups.
On or off the field, we all have rules to play by. But what happens after a serious car crash? When the insurance company won't play fair? At Montlick & Associates, we know injury law, and we know what it takes to win. After all, we've been winning in our field for over 35 years. If you've been injured, we're here to help. Simply dial #WIN from your cell phone for your free consultation. That's #946.
A big bow box says a lot about a person. Like they have a mighty hunger, a powerful thirst, and great taste when it comes to college teams. Game day and beyond, rep your Georgia Bulldogs with an official Team Big Bow Box.
Today's NFL report is being brought to you by Reliable Heating and Air, servicing Atlanta's heating and air conditioning needs for over 40 years.
Welcome back. Our NFL report is brought to you by Reliable Heating and Air. Jumping around the NFC South, it's the Saints at the Titans. Do you think that New Orleans is going to bounce back and walk away with a win here, Terrence?
No, absolutely not. Here's the time in the season where these experienced teams start to get better because they're starting to find their groove. They're getting healthier. They know what they're doing. They know who they are. Saints still don't know who they are offensively. Defensively, yes, but if they're on the field the whole game, they can't be productive defensively. So I think this Tennessee Titan team is even without Derrick Henry, is starting to peak at the right time.
Buccaneers at Washington. Do we think that Washington is going to give Tom Brady and company a run for their money, Bob?
I'm going to use T-style. No. I think Tom and that offense got it clicking where they need to click, even though he took a bad L with that New Orleans, those interceptions. I think the time to reflect on it and look at it and get it back working, you just got so many weapons that you can choose from. And I think they're going to expand Leonard Fournette. You have a way so you can slow down the pass rushes, get the running back the ball more handoffs, get Leonard Fournette more handoffs. I think Tom Brady will be back clicking on all cylinders and destroy Washington.
Chuck, you played for the Panthers for a hot second there. It's the Panthers at the Cardinals. Do you think that they can pull up? You did.
He had a cup of coffee. He had a cup of coffee there.
Thank you. That's how you describe it.
He had a cup of
I was there long enough to open up a bag of Doritos, and then I was gone. Okay, but go ahead. Go ahead and ask your question, Nikki.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, Panthers. I don't vibe with y'all like that.
I don't need this bad color scheme too. Do you think that the Panthers pull off an upset in the desert?
I'll tell you this, Nikki. No. I agree with Bob and Terrence. We all on the no train today. But the reason why simply is because they've been struggling offensively. The Panthers defense is one of the best in the league, led by Brian Burns and a couple other guys that really get after. But offensively, this Carolina Panthers team is in shambles right now. And Sam Darnold's out. You're going to have a backup quarterback in. Sam Darnold struggled no matter what. But when you look at this team, absolutely not. And again, Nikki, thank you, Mr. Richards, for blessing me with some, foundation to take care of my family. But that's about it. All I know what I liked about Carolina.
But you sure did not take care of your family in Charlotte. Thank you. I'm leaving. Thank you. And you know what? None of you said yes to anything. But coming up next, we've got our favorite yes guy, Jeffrey, the Edge Checker. You don't want to miss our picks. They're on deck next on Football's Play to Win.
We can
carry a lot in our trucks and use cutting-edge technology. Our experience is what makes us reliable. Heating, cooling, hot water, plumbing, and electrical. Our results make us always reliable.
Get any size furnace for just $49.99 a month.
You guys are gonna love this. We've made it simple. We call it Beaver Direct. You don't have to visit the dealership to get a great deal on a new or used vehicle. Complete your entire purchase right online. At Beaver Direct, you can quickly obtain a credit approval, have your trade appraised, chat with a specialist, and even switch to video. Beaver Direct was designed to make your car buying experience fast, fun, and easy. We'll trailer your vehicle right to your doorstep for your private test drive. Log on to BeaverToyotaofCumming.com and click on the Beaver Direct button. You'll be done in no time.
Hi, honey. Oh, I missed you.
You just want to video call the kids.
Okay. Hush, little baby. Don't say a word.
But if slow upload speeds turn your good night call into an accidental horror movie,
Can you hear me? Shut it down.
just remember, you're not a bad mom. You just need better internet.
AT&T Fiber delivers faster upload speeds for more reliable video calls. Get AT&T Fiber, plan starting at $35 a month for a year. Limited availability in select areas. Call 1-877 only ATT.
It's time to find your next Chevy truck and forge ahead. Take on new challenges and take it to the next level. It's the perfect time to do more in your next Chevy. Find new possibilities, find new roads. Very well qualified buyers can get 2.49% financing and $1,000 cash allowance on this Silverado. Plus, unlock your code to claim $500 Chevy Cyber Cash on most Silverado 1500 Crew Cab pickups.
Today's college and NFL predictions is being brought to you by This Is It Barbecue.
Welcome back. Our college and NFL predictions are brought to you by This Is It Barbecue, and this is Jeffrey the Edge Schechter here this week to give you all of his picks around college and the pros. Let's do it, Jeff.
There was a time East Carolina was a very dangerous team. They beat the ACC teams, they go to bowls, and then like the last 6 years, the program went in the tank. They got a new coach. They're 4-4, and they haven't been slaughtered in the games they lost. And I'm going to take the 5 with East Carolina against Memphis. Michigan should have beat Michigan State. There was a bad call. Give the 1.5 over Penn State. Georgia's playing Tennessee. That is the fastest team I've ever seen. And that quarterback's got some arm. They beat Kentucky today, and they may be able to hang around against Georgia. Take the 20 points. Real poetry. Tennessee is the best team in the NFC, so this week I'm going to take the 3. Take the 3 with Tennessee. New England will beat Cleveland. Give them 1.5. Mac Jones and Bill Belichick have one thing in common. They're both winners. Go with New England. And Arizona, Carolina won't know what hit them. In that nice desert, Arizona will kill them. Give the 10 with Arizona. And
I love it. Very
luck,
Shakespearean of you, Jeffrey. Thank you so much, guys. Thanks for being with us another week on Footballs. You are very talented. In case I didn't tell you that enough, Jeffrey, you're very talented. Thanks for sticking with us again. Another great week on Footballs Play to Win. I know you've got some very exciting football to get to today, but don't forget about connecting with us online all week, and we can't wait to see you next Saturday, 9 a.m. on another episode of Footballs Play to Win.
Today's show has been brought to you by This Is It Barbecue, Atlanta Peach Movers, and your Atlanta Nissan dealers.